In 2016, border security topped the president's platform, and throughout his presidency, that's continued.
We're building the wall, as I said, faster than ever, and it will soon be almost 1 new mile a day. We're looking for that.
In Arizona, construction is currently underway to fortify the Mexican border. President Trump meets regularly with agents, most recently last week in Washington, D.C. The PBS NewsHour captured the meeting and the special call-out from the president to Art Del Cueto.
And Art Del Cueto. Art Del Cueto. We're getting better with that name, right?
Del Cueto is the vice president of the National Border Patrol Union. He's a native of Douglas and serves as an agent in the Tucson sector. Days after the meeting, Del Cueto joined me in studio and told me about his relationship with the president.
You know, it's not a huge union by any standards, obviously, but it's obviously the hot topic. So we have had meetings with the president. We've been able to sit down and talk to him in the Oval Office several times. And, you know, he asked for the opinion. He asked for what agents, are needing. And we're very open about it. You know, not just myself, but obviously Brandon Judd, who is the national president. He gets to speak with him a lot more often. And, I think we're very thorough and we explain exactly what the needs are. Sometimes it's frustrating because I know agents come back and say, well, we needed this, we needed that. But, there's also Congress in the way. So it's not just the president can't just wave his magic wand and make everything the way that we need it.
Though, there are people who will say he does wave his magic wand and do what he wants, given the border wall that we're seeing being built up here in Arizona, waiving environmental laws. Have you been part of those discussions, saying the 30-foot bollard and being able to see through what's happening into Mexico?
We have. So that was one of the things that we did discuss, obviously, that we've always said we would like some type of barrier where we can see through and see what's happening on the other side. That prevents individuals from the Mexican side that will actually come up, throw things over the wall and attack some of our agents. And I think that's what's important. When it comes to him waving a magic wand, I think if he would have waved that magic wand or if he had the opportunity to do that, we would have already had the wall and nobody would be saying anything about it. But obviously we've been, it's been a slow process. What's interesting is people complain about having the wall and then they turn around and they say, well, the wall hasn't been built. You can't have it both ways. You need to either say it has been built or it hasn't. There's areas where the wall has been reconstructed, and those are areas that we already had a wall. But what I do want to point out is it's been reconstructed with much better type of barrier than was there before. The easiest way that I've always had to describe it is if you have an empty lot with just a shack on it, and you destroy that shack, and now you build a house, 2-story, you add running water and everything else, then it essentially is a new home. And I think that's the way we see the area of the wall that's being rebuilt. It needed to be rebuilt.
This wall is very controversial. You have people who say, well, once it's done being fortified, you can walk around it. They'll still be able to penetrate it. How do you sell the skeptics on it?
I think the biggest issue that I've seen, and I've talked to individuals on both sides of the aisle, and that's, I think, what's important. I believe that border security is something that we all, if we sit down and we talk about it and we see the logistics and the reality of it, we're going to agree on it. And I tell individuals, whether you're on the right side of the aisle or the left side of the aisle, at the end of the day, when you go home, you still lock your doors. And you lock them because you want security for your home. When you go to a store, when you go to a shopping center, you lock your car door. And you do that because you want security for the things that you own and the things that you have in your vehicle. Our nation's borders should not be any different. We need that wall for that purpose. Now, if you lock your door at night, that's not going to prevent individuals from still breaking in, but you still do it. If you lock your car doors, that's not going to prevent your vehicle from being stolen, but you still do it. Because it's an extra barrier between you and individuals that try to do some type of harm. Now, when it comes to the barrier on our nation's border, what it does is it is that extra barrier. Now, can people still climb over it, dig under it, build a tunnel, walk around it? Of course they can. However, then the agencies that are in charge of protecting our borders are able to send agents in those areas that are more susceptible for entries. And at the same time, that barrier slows down the individuals trying to enter our country so agents can respond to those areas.
Sometimes the president uses the agencies under Department of Homeland Security interchangeably. Does he ever get things wrong? What's he missing from this conversation?
No, I think it's difficult. That's actually a fantastic question because I think it is difficult. I get more frustrated with individuals in the media, especially out here. So we're in southern Arizona. So this isn't new. The immigration issue isn't new to a lot of us. The different agencies that are involved in the immigration issues should not be new to a lot of us. But what is upsetting is I think the media is who gets it wrong a lot of times. There's stories that are covering individuals that work at the port of entry, or there's stories that cover individuals that work for ICE, but the media always seems to throw Border Patrol pictures there as their poster child for anything immigration related.
And that then challenges the narrative the public is consuming.
Correct.
You've shared the stage with the president since 2016. We've seen videos, press conferences. How would you describe your relationship with him?
You know, I think I don't know, man. You know, sometimes I go back and forth, and I think it's surreal that I'm even there at times. But the reality is, I've been able to speak with the president very frank. He's very open to some of the things that we have had to say. And I mean, it's hard to say, right? Because I mean, he is the president of the United States. I don't want to come out here and say, oh, Art Del Cueto said he's real good friends with the president. No, obviously we talk about different issues. We concentrate on border issues. We concentrate on the needs of the agents. But at the same time, you know, we've been able to share conversations about personal things once in a while.
Okay. Art, thank you.
Thank you for having me.